Hey, welcome back, everyone. It's time for another Covered Call car session video. Hey, look, I love talking covered calls, and I love the fact that you guys are learning something. Man, I love it. Got so many things on my mind, and I definitely want to talk to you today about the secret, the absolute secret to picking a great covered call stock. I get asked this question all the time, and I had a heated debate just yesterday, and I gotta share my opinion, and I'm going to do it now. Hey, look, before I get going, subscribe to my channel. If you like what you're hearing, get an email notification the next time I do one of these, and I do them frequently. Yeah, I talk covered calls. I love talking about making money. All right, guys, bang the like button, man. Show me you like what I'm doing so I get motivated to do the next video. Let's talk about the absolute 100% secret to picking a great covered call stock. Man, I'm going to tell you what, and I said this in a video, I called it, this is not rocket science, okay? I hate to disappoint you. I hate to disappoint you, but this is the absolute fact when it comes to writing covered calls. The reality is this. You have to own the stock. You have to put out the money and take the risk of buying a stock. So first and foremost, golden rule of picking a covered call stock, right, is a stock for which you want to own. Because look, at the end of the day, if you buy the stock, you could literally buy the stock and news come out and the stock tanks even before you write the covered call. And you're stuck holding the bag. That's the reality, guys. You have to live with the stock. I'm going to tell you right now, and this is the great debate I had yesterday. I want to say about a year and a half ago, I purchased, a $50 a month service for a groomed covered call stock list, okay? And I told this story yesterday in my debate. I said, hey, look, I bought this service, paid the $50. I get the groomed list. And one of the stocks that I was trading, I was swing trading, was on the list. I was trading MPOW, Melco Crown, okay? You know how I love Wynn, you know how I love Sands. Well, if you're doing your research, then you know Melco Crown is part of that group. They have casinos in Macau. They're volatile, right? Well, I was swing trading MPOW, which, by the way, MPOW doesn't trade anymore because they've consolidated and it's now Melco Crown, so that MPOW ticker doesn't exist. But at the time, it was about $42 a share. And when I opened up the list and found that MPOW was on the list, I'm like, this is awesome. This is great. If anything, it confirmed that I was, if anything, swing trading a great stock. Or at least at the time, that's what I thought. Well, so, of course, my spidey senses go up. I'm going to now monitor this. I'm actually swing trading MPOW, but I'm going to monitor it and almost play out on paper what would happen if I wrote a covered call. And that's what I did. I think the stock was trading at 42. I think I put out a 45. I would have gotten $3 for a month. Man, life's good, right? Well, what ends up happening is the Macau numbers come in. Some news comes out that the Chinese government is smacking down on these casinos and the junkets, traders, and all that stuff, and all the casino stocks fall. MPOW falls from $42 basically down to 15. Okay? So at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you, you have to own these stocks. Okay? So that is the number one golden rule to the secret to buying the best covered call stock. Okay? You have to own it. So, okay, I've spent the last 5 minutes telling you something you probably already know. Really, I want to hammer that home. Okay? Got to hammer that home. Because I'm hearing cats on YouTube saying, hey, look, man, we're buying these stocks. We're writing these nice little $4 premium calls on these high volatility stocks. Hey, that's great. That's great. Until you get left holding the bag on a stock that dives 10 and 15 and 20% from where you bought it. So what is the secret? The secret is you doing research. Okay? We've talked about this. You want to have stocks that have a lot of they're S&P type companies. S&P type companies are some of the greatest companies with the greatest profitability, with the greatest earnings, the greatest balance sheets. Okay? The likelihood of an S&P type company, you buying them and the next day you waking up finding out that the stock plummeted 50% because of bad management is unlikely. Don't want to say the risk is totally off the board, but it's unlikely. And that's what we want to be in, the unlikely business. Okay? I don't want to be in the hope business. I tell you that too. So I want to be in the I want to be in the unlikely business, the unlikeliness that something's going to happen. Then I want to have a great S&P type stock. I want to have volume. Okay? I love volume. Why? We want open interest. Because we want people to buy our options. See, we're going to sell the option. Well, we want to have potential buyers out there. And more importantly, when we enter the option trade, we might be looking to get out of the trade. We're being dynamic. We're going to buy back our option, right? Take that risk off the board. Maybe later in the trade. Well, if you don't have open interest, you're not going to have anybody interested in buying your shares. I've told you this before. I miraculously sold a Whirlpool with like one dude in the world that wanted my shares. Well, when I wanted to go ahead and buy that option back, couldn't do it. I literally was at the mercy of the market because I could not find any buyers or any takers. So you want open interest of at least 100, right? Okay, so great S&P type company, one that you are comfortable owning. 2, we want open interest. 3, we want to limit risk. So we want to make sure that stock does not have, in the time frame for which we're going to sell this call, an earnings report. Right? How many times have I told you I've written a couple covered calls on Nike and it was around earnings and the stock fell 5 and 6 and 7%, absolutely screwing me. Okay? That is, volatility jacks up during earnings, man. We want to limit risk, so we want to avoid earnings. Guys, we want dividends. We want dividends. Why? Because if we get stuck holding the stock, like I am in PSX right now, where I write the covered call, but the stock falls and falls and falls, sticking me with this bag of crap, at least I'm collecting a dividend. Okay? Now, again, PSX, I want to own it. PSX, good balance sheet. PSX has a nice dividend. Okay? So we need these golden rules. Okay? And then finally, yes, it's not really particular to a stock. We need to have a plan. Right? We need to execute the plan. We got to have a plan. We execute the plan. How many times have I made a mistake where I had a plan, didn't execute it, and wish I had a plan? So at the end of the day, pick your great S&P type company, great blue chip companies that might not have that much volatility. Sell a nice 1 deviation, 2 deviation out of the money strike. Try to get 2%. 2% is the nice sweet spot for a nice covered call right. Man, if we're getting 2% every month, you do the math. Extrapolate that out 12 months, we're making money. We're potentially beating the market most of the time, okay? Cash on cash, we are beating the market. Then we want to have a plan, okay? We want to have a plan. We want to execute the plan. Hey, guys, you may have different guidelines on how you pick the perfect stock, but I bet you most of your golden rules will mirror my golden rules. Why? Because they're tried and true. Okay? The covered call strategy has been around as long as options have been around. So with that said, make sure you have your golden rules in place and you follow them. You don't do this stuff willy-nilly. And please try not to overreach. Don't overreach for that nice, juicy, fat premium? Because with more and more premium comes more and more risk, right? Volatility. Hey, look, guys, I don't know if you agree with me here, but this is how I pick. This is my secret to picking the best covered call stock. Hey, hope you learned something, and thanks again for watching. Bang that like button. Get ready for my next red-hot covered call video that I'm doing this week. Hey, guys, till next time, I hope all your covered calls are profitable.
All I see is signs. All I see is dollar signs. Oh, money on my mind. Money on my mind.